Hi and Assalamualaikum. Our group will be present the topic about how Ministry of Transport MOT manage issues e-hailing in Malaysia. This presentation would like to prepare for Dr. Ju Suyun at Yu Sun Yu.
So this is our table of contents.
We know in 2019, coronavirus disease COVID-19 has been spread worldwide. Malaysia was a part of ongoing worldwide pandemic of coronavirus disease in 2019. This affected our country, especially our health and economy that needs to be taken severely. COVID-19 give effect on people as well because they lose their job and their daily income. The reason is all people need to stay at home for a while because COVID-19 spread vastly. Prime Minister Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin has announced a nationwide lockdown for all social and economic sectors. Moreover, Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin also said only essential economic sectors and service will be allowed to operate. Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin meets the group in roles of e-hailing driver and riders who struggle to find the income for themselves. We know as well that many e-hailing drivers and riders has expressed their concern over the LPS, which is Temporary Operator License regulation and guidelines for delivery of food, the customer and parcel, or we call it e-hailing, which is parcel delivery. The statement was made by the Transport Ministry or Ministry of Transport Malaysia MOT. The example of e-hailing are taxi, Grab, My Car, Easy Cab, Maxim and many more. In our writer report, we will discuss more about how the Ministry of Transport handled this situation during the spread ahead COVID-19.
Introduction of managing issues planning. Planning is the process of setting the objective to be accomplished by an organization during a future time period and deciding on the method of reaching them. Planning also defining organizational goals, establishing a strategy to reach those goals, and developing a comprehensive of plans to integrate and coordinate activities. In other words, planning is the part of management concerned with creating procedures, rules, and guidelines of achieving a state objective. Planning is a never-ending activity. The manager must examine plans regularly, meaning that manager need to create broad objective and mission statement as well as look after the day-to-day running of the company. First, planning for a long term. The Malaysian government thus allows Malaysians to ride in e-hailing, but only one driver and two passengers are allowed for Uber and Grab. Next, Malaysian politician Datuk Sri Dr. Wee Ka Siong also in a statement on Saturday, June 12, that all public transport services must operate in accordance with the standard operating procedures of the National Security Council. Our Health Ministry, Khairi Jamaluddin, has announced that they need to use face masks as optional indoor and outdoor as well for some time. However, while taking public transport, it is still compulsory to use a mask, which includes trains, bus, and e-hailing rides. This is also included for flights, bus school, and factory bus or van.
The second plan for short term is the government has decided to allocate RM60 million to help e-hailing drivers during COVID-19, which is each driver who works for e-hailing will get 500 for 120,000 individuals. Prime Minister Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin also has announced a massive amount of RM230 billion economic stimulus package, which is RM25 billion will ease the burden of the rakyat and businesses considering the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. This initiative list of RM60 million will be directly to 120,000 of e-hailing drivers in our country who will receive a one-off payment of RM500 ringgit. Next, the last plan for the short term is Bank Negara has been announced as well to grant an automatic 6-month moratorium of all loan or financing repayments and including car loan for who have the car for do the e-hailing. This moratorium will be starting 1 April 2020 to ease the burdens of customers who have been affected crisis of financially during movement control order MCO.
Introduction of managing issue organizing. Organizing is the way work is arranged and educated among members of the organization so that the goals of the organization can be effectively achieved. Organizing is the process of ensuring that there are physical and human resources to carry out the plans and attain organization goals. Delegating tasks, splitting work precisely, defining authority between persons and groups, and integrating set of operations into a logical subdivision or department are all necessary steps in achieving organizational goals. Besides, there are 4 importance of organizing. To begin, the key of organizing is to divide work among all members of the organization so that they may work together to achieve the goals. If everyone in the organization works together, the goals will be readily achievable. Second, while members of the organization carry out specific activities, they should enhance their skills. All organization members can increase their own ability or specialty to the important activities given. Next is to assure the use of organization resources efficiently. With the help of other organization members, we know how to use organization resources properly. Aside from that, to foster collaboration among organization members, because everyone has a role to play in achieving the organization's objective. With the organizing system, all members in organization know their own roles or departments in order to achieve the goals. They also can give support to each other even in different departments or roles. There are 2 types of organizing. First, formal organization. Second, informal organization. Organizing strategy. Organizing strategy is some of the action a company intends to achieve long-term goals. These actions make up a company's strategy plan. Strategy take at least a year to complete, requiring involvement from all company level.
Next, I would like to share an introduction of decision making. Decision making is a process of identifying and selecting a cause of an action or alternative to solve a specific problem and making a final choice. Decision making also can be defined as a method of making choices by recognizing a choice, gathering data, and implementing effective resolutions. In the effort of making decision, a public manager evaluates the alternative and makes a summary from the list of alternatives. Basically, there is a step-by-step that people need to follow in the process of choosing decision, including weighing pros and cons, collecting information, and exchange views with someone else. This process helps people from making a mistakes repeatedly. Next, I would like to talk about the importance of making decision. As we all know that making decision is the part of our life which is everyday people need to decide whether to choose the good or the bad decision. Even though decision making seems like a simple task, but it will give an effect on our life. So here is some importance of making decision that all people should know. Firstly, be more effective. When we make decision without haste, we can make choices with more effective and efficient. So the impact of the situation, we will be more confident in decision we made. We also can calculate or predict our future in order to get the best result. Next, we have avoid risk. With a decision making, we can reduce a risk from making a mistakes. This is said so because when we make a decision blindly without checking it first, we cannot predict the outcome we are going to face. But with decision making, it will lead us to improve result. By do some research on our option and see it with different perspective, we can know whether it is a pros or cons. So there is strategies of decision making. Firstly, we have to identify and diagnose the problem. For example, the government's effort and operation is to reduce incidence of COVID-19 pandemic and put the country in the path to full recovery. Besides that, the government wants to prevent the economy from falling down. Furthermore, there is a terms of control actions by MOT, such as provide hand sanitizer for passengers, place a sticker of social distancing of 1 meter, SOP, require people to wear face masks, and download and use MySejahtera application.
Introduction of managing issue controlling. We all know about control. Controlling is nothing new in business or management. The best control can raise the company to be a better level. Controlling is an important function in any management. It verifies that all assigned tasks have been completed on time. Controlling ensures that activities in the organization are carried out according to plan. Control also ensures that the organization resources are used effectively and efficiently to achieve the goals that have been set. Control should not be misunderstood as the last function of management. It is a function that returns the management circle to the planning function. Next, controlling strategies. Regulation of e-hailing during the COVID-19 pandemic in 2019 to 2021. COVID-19 is a virus that spreads easily and also a virus that kills. E-hailing is known as the taxi or public transport service. Before this pandemic, taxi or e-hailing services were free to operate anywhere and anytime. Whereas, after the outbreak of this pandemic, the Malaysian Ministry of Transport has collaborated with the Malaysian Ministry of Health by creating the procedure or protocol to manage the issue of e-hailing service in order to prevent or curb the spread of the COVID-19 virus. The most effective intervention are the suspension of urban public transport, the closure of recreational areas, and the banning of public gathering, and others. The basic effect of many public health measures is to reduce exposure rate among the public, thereby controlling the spread of the virus. Various strategies have been carried out by the ministry regarding the issue of e-hailing, such as limit the time of operation from 6 a.m. to 12 p.m. 2. Limit passenger in one vehicle, only 2 people in one vehicle. 3. Perform physical confinement, PKP. 4. Encourage the use of face masks at all times, even if the driver or passenger both must wear a face mask. 5. Encourage the use of hand sanitizer. And 6. Promote online payment or transaction.
In conclusion, Malaysia has finally reached endemicity for COVID-19 but in phase. With the help of the vaccine, Malaysia has reached 86% mass immunity of people that are fully vaccinated. The COVID-19 pandemic has had a major impact on the economy and transportation in Malaysia. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, consumer reaction has become an essential requirement for any product or service. Malaysia is slowly opening e-hailing services by allowing citizens to ride public transportation without stretched procedure. However, positive statements about satisfaction regarding e-hailing services during the COVID-19 pandemic show that passengers or users still have positive thought toward e-hailing services. Therefore, for continued revenue generation and policy development in the domain of e-hailing services, it is important to understand public sentiments and reaction.